Alright guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the new DV8 Dark Side Curse. So this is the new DV8 Dark Side Curse. It's with a solid, it's got a little bit shine on it out of box. Very popular ball, the original one. Never had a chance to drill one. Kind of regret it. Maybe I'll end up ordering one and drilling back for myself later with everyone that's been bowling the original one really good. So a little bit about this right now. I've thrown it for 2 weeks. 960 out of box, front 10 game 3 out of box. So it's giving me a really good control shape. For me, it's more or less for the transition, just because it's a little bit weaker of a ball. It's probably a little bit stronger than like a Vibe if I compare to hammer stuff, closer to stuff like the Brunswick Alert, the Inciter Solid, stuff like that. So really good lower end benchmark piece, close to like stealth kind of thing. I also drilled this one pinned down. And then the ball I'm going to compare with today, just so we see, like I said earlier, one of my favorite balls right now in my arsenal and in my bag is the actual Brunswick Alert, which I did drill pin up. So it's going to be a little bit different in terms of shape off the spot, and because the layout's a little bit different, but both a little similar tier of a line of a ball. So we're going to throw some shots, see how it goes. It's going to be pretty standard here, starting around 22 my feet, a little bit weaker ball, so I don't want to be like 17 right away off the gate. Sometimes I am. I'll be closer to like 15 at the arrows. Getting it out there to like anywhere between 7 to 5. Okay. So that's just a pretty good benchmark shot of where I want to throw it. Looks like it's hooking. Fresh house shot, so it's probably a little sharp in the back right now. I might get a little left, give it a little bit of space, but it's looking pretty good. It did lane shine on me after a couple weeks of usage, so I did not really put a lot of surface on it, just freshened it up to make sure it does read the mid lane and look like it did right away. So I only used like a worn out 2000 on it to kind of take off some of that shine. So I'm just gonna make a modest 4 and 2 adjustment. So I'm gonna start at 17 at the arrows. 17 at the arrows, tighter line overall. Saw the shape a little late, so a little bit of, the ball's too weak in the oil a little bit, I think, right now. So I probably need to get that ball into the friction a little earlier, just not as early as I did the shot before. So let's make a little bit of a blend. I'm actually gonna do a little bit of a left and right with my feet and eyes and in reverse. So just to close the angles up so it's not steep through the fronts and into the friction too early. So I'm gonna square up a little bit. And have it more, the angle's more in front of me so it does read up in the mid lane still. Way better. Yeah, so that's just a way better shot. I know it didn't carry, but that's the general shape I'm expecting to see. A little bit of the pin down, a little bit of the ball. I think it's just a very good slow to transition in the phases of the hook. So it gives me a really smooth reaction. Nothing crazy. If it's got a little bit shiny in it or shine on it, it does get through the heads really well too. So let's try to carry that 10 pin here. That's just picture perfect. So I threw a lot better too. Didn't try to twist it, got more up behind the back, more roll with it, just to get it to read up a little bit more so it doesn't come too far behind the head pin to allow it to 10 pin, and it just read the mid lane in the right spot. But like I said, if the angle's more in front of me than the first shot, and even the second shot I moved left, it wasn't really in front of me, so it's probably better than getting it too early into the friction, and definitely not too good when it's too early into or I'm too soon to get into the oil with. So wanted to avoid that a little bit too, right? So it's definitely not a high-end ball. All right, even that one I moved a little left, but I made sure the angle didn't go super out to like 5 or 3 or anything out there. Just kept it a little bit closer to like 7, 8. And you see how it got to the mid lane, hooked, and then it slowed down, but it didn't really do a crazy right to left shape. I think it's just good for that reason. All right, so I'll do a couple shots to the alert. Let's start with the same spot. One thing I want to bring up too is I want to thank our new sponsors. So right now we got Rift. They're part of PBA as well. They're manufactured and made in Canada. It's from Bufa as well, the Bufa distribution. So anytime you go on the Bufa website or the Rift website, you'll be able to find my name, myself, Sly, on the influencers list, and you'll be able to kind of see our styles or my style that I've designed so far. I only have 2. I'm going to be making more. And anytime you order anything on Rift as well, make sure to use 900 Pro Shop in caps at checkout, and then you'll get your 10% discount on all your stuff as well. So they make really good jerseys. They have a lot of styles. Can't name how many. I think it's north of like 460 styles online. So take some time to browse through them and see what you like. And it's all customizable, like in terms of name, logos, everything. It's pretty straightforward. Just a form that you fill out, and they'll send you mock drafts and everything. So it's very, very simple. So here's the alert on the same line. So first shot with the alert, just look like it's just overall a lot more right to left. Try to read up just as early in the mid lane. Does seem like it has a little bit more surface. I don't remember if I touched it, to be honest. It just visually looks less shiny than the dark side. So it's definitely reading and then continuing. So this one is drilled to kind of take off a little bit more, so when I need to move left or kick out that corner pin a little bit better. So I'm naturally going to move after like a 3, 6, 9, 10, at least a 5 and 2 kind of thing. I don't mind getting steep with this one. Struck, not too pretty, so definitely got lazy. I was way more confident on it making a sharper right to left turn than it did. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a in-between move. And I don't think it's much. Like, I'm going to say 1 and 1. Sometimes I might even drift an extra 1 or 2 boards, so it's not noticeable. It's more placebo to make a 1 and 1. But based on how I left it, I feel stupid not making a move. So just for science, what happens? One and 1 looks good, regardless if I moved and missed 1 and 1 or whatever, right? So made the 1 and 1. Looks like it hit the mid lane in a better spot. Came off of it a little bit better, and yeah, right now I got like a 3-4 board difference, 2 at the arrows, and break points are around the same area. I'm trying to get to around 7-8. So that's kind of how I have it differently, and I assume if I kind of put the same layout on the dark side, it might try to do the same thing. I know the layout's going to play a lot more of the factor right now, why it's not coming back from there, but I'm going to just try a shot there, slow it down a little bit, just give it more time to go right to left, because it's not really wanting to do that as much. So yeah, that's exactly what I kind of expected. I was hoping it wouldn't, but went that 4 boards, threw it, same spot as the alert. Looks like if you look back in the video, you'll see that it just pushed a little further too. And then because it went further, it also has less time to go right to left. Never really came back. So comfortably, it's a really good 1-2 for me, where when my alert starts hooking too early, I can just hop right on top of this, or when I'm using this to start in reverse, it looks really, really good. It starts getting pukey, or I need to move left and it gets pukey, then I go to my alert and have that extra shape I'm getting from it. I'm gonna finish it off with a couple of shots. See how it looks again. And that's just going back to where it should be. Just looks way better when my angles are not too steep with that ball. And so far, I'm pretty happy with it. So, I know I'll say it every time I do a ball review, I'm happy with it, but this ball's probably in my bag for a bit. It's just different, right? Like a weak enough ball where I could use it. Even on sport patterns, I think I have a good chance to use it later in the block, closer to match play, 5-6 games in, somewhere around there, or depending on how many people you get on the pair, maybe even 3rd or 4th game. That's all I gotta say about the ball. Looks really good. Does everything I expect it to. No surprises. Just don't expect too much of a right to left movement when you get too deep with it. Could be a layout thing. I could change the layout and test on and see how it does compare with the alert, but right now I also didn't want to do that just so I have a good 1-2 punch that way, and sometimes in our arsenals we always do that to make sure we have different slots filled up, right? So everyone, this is my new dark side curse. Thanks for watching, guys.